In this presentation, we will continue on with our comprehensive proprietorship problem with our closing entries. We are on the closing entries tab. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. We'll be entering closing entry 4 of our closing entry 3 of 4, having prior to this done closing entries 1 and 2. Closing entry 1, as we will recall, closed out the revenue to the income summary. Closing entry 2 closed out the expenses to income summary. That gives us our check figure for closing 3, being net income is now the amount in the income summary, and all of the other income statement accounts, the temporary accounts, are 0. Now we can do step 3 and just close out the income summary to the capital account. So, and note the mirroring of what we're doing here at this point to the financial statement, the statement of equity. If we go back to the statement of equity, just to check this out, we're in the statement of equity tab, and we'll take a look at the statement of equity. What we really had here is our beginning number plus investments, 100,000. That's where we are starting on our closing entry trial balance. And now we're going to go through the process of closing net income to it out of income summary for us, and then we'll close out draws. And then we'll end up with the ending number, 103,600. So we're basically doing the statement of owner's equity on a debit and credit format with the closing process. Back to the closing entries. Okay, so to do that, we're going to do the entry once again on the end of the month, January 31st. And we're going to close out the income summary now. We're going to make this go back down to 0. So remember, it was 0 before. It's going to be 0 after. It's got 5,100. Sorry about that. It's going in the credit. We need to do the opposite and debit it. So we're going to copy the income summary. Right click and copy. We'll put that in B16. Right click and paste 1, 2, 3. Now the amount's going to be 1,500, and you're probably tempted to use a formula because I've been telling you to use a formula all the time. I'm going to show you how it's going to cause a problem. Let's do that one more time. It'll be a circle reference. Just to give you an idea to not be as scared if you get a circle reference to not ever use formulas, because you want to use formulas whenever possible. If you get a circle reference, then deal with it and fix it and keep using formulas whenever possible. So I'm going to use the formula of negative, and I could pick up either of these and I'll have a problem with either one. I'll pick up this one this time and then enter. So that one's going to cause us a problem. I'll make it yellow. I'm going to put a negative of this number, and the credit's going to go to the capital account. So we'll right-click, copy, put that in B17, right-click, paste 1, 2, 3. I'm going to indent, which is done for you already, most likely. Home tab, alignment, increase indenting. We'll post this out now. Here's the income summary here. Here's the income summary here. We're in the middle column in H19, where we say equals, or double-click on it, go to the end of it, and say plus, and point to this 5,100. It's going to cause us a problem. It's going to say there's a circle reference. I won't read through it all now, but it's a common error. If you see this error and then you click on it, it says, it's basically saying, hey, wait a second, there was 5,100 in the cell, which then that's where you got this number from. And then you took that number and made this number go down by the number that came from here. You know, I can't use the same number that you told me to bring here to make that number change. That's a circle reference. So in order to fix that, we have to hard code this number. I can't use a formula. I can't do that because it causes a problem. So I'm just going to say, okay, 5,100. We'll hard code it or just type in the number when we have to. Okay, and then this should work. So that brings this down to 0 as we would hope. We're going to put the difference then to the capital account. So we're going to be in the middle column in H17 where we say equals and point to that 5,100. That brings the capital up, as we would expect, as has been the case for the statement of equity, because the capital represents the book value, assets minus liabilities, 103,600, these two, 103,600, and the book value has gone up by the activity for the month, revenue minus expenses. So net income should increase the book value, or the amount owed to the owner, in other words, the amount that theoretically the owner would get upon liquidation if we sold all assets, got cash for it. Again, we wouldn't sell them for exactly these amounts, but in theory we would, giving us assets of 119,100 and then paying off the liabilities, $15,500, giving us the difference, assets minus liabilities, what the owner would get upon liquidation if selling all assets for exactly what they're on the books for, $103,600, $103,600. So now we just need to close out the last part in our final entry, our final closing entry, closing out draws to the capital account. We'll do that next time. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.